Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm King Sway. Welcome to a new edition of RPG Horror Stories. Today we got in my personal opinion, a strange one, where a player pulls a knife on OP. And when I give my TED talk on this one, I'm going to add a couple of pictures of myself so you guys understand why I have the attitude that I have towards certain things. But with all that said, we're going to dive right into this one. Here we go. So I love reading these, and I was thinking back on my experiences and remember one I had myself. I don't know why it took me so long to decide to post this, but here we go. So I was like 7th grade, I was about 12 or 13. I'd been invited to a group within some friends' acquaintances from school. I was pretty excited, and I've been wanting to play D&D for a while since I saw Stranger Things a couple summers before. Fast forward to the night of my first session. I made a character beforehand, a lawful good human ranger. Looking back, I'm kind of embarrassed, but it was my first time. Anyways, I got there. The DM helped me do some, final touches on my ranger, and he even gave me a spell. Pretty cool, the DM. Yeah. I don't know what level they were starting at because, rangers don't get them at level 1. At least I don't think they do. I like level 4 or 5, somewhere around there. I like to preface this next part by saying I was pretty much young and, recently watched a YouTube video about throwing cards and wanted to show off to these new people. I positioned a card and readied my hand, then flicked it. It did this cool little spinny thing, but I couldn't aim to save my life. The spell card curved directions and it hit this guy sitting across from me. He was playing a chaotic something dragonborn wizard who regularly got drunk and apparently killed children accidentally via noose. Don't ask because I don't know. He didn't like this and decided it was reasonable to pull out his pocket knife and stick it in my face. Looking back, he was a scrawny short kid who didn't look like he knew what he was doing, even holding a knife, and I was and am a pretty big guy. What I mean to say here is that I probably could have taken him if I wanted to, but the madman had a knife in my face and I wasn't for all that. I just backed up, raised my hands, and I moved away from the blade. And I'm going to say that's a reasonable response. It's a knife in your face. If somebody got the balls to pull something like that on you just trying to show off, move away. Also, take your shirt off. Not take your shirt off because you can rat tail the ever-loving piss out of them. No, I'm not joking. As fast as you can, as soon as they come in, you flick them and you can draw it back. And that sting is something, yeah. Okay, moving on with the story. I'll get to that later. There was a moment of quiet as the whole table stopped talking and they were staring at the knife-wielding child. The DM ended stepping up and he helped calm everything down. Knife Child read the room and realized everyone was scared and nobody thought he was cool for this. He sat down and apologized, putting his knife away and grabbed a set of dice. He apologized and tried to give me some money, to which I said no because that's just weird. We just kind of continued the game from there. Our characters didn't get along anyway, since he was a murder hobo and my ranger didn't like to kill anything if it wasn't necessary. I truly don't know why I kept playing with that group, but I did. Why did the session continue after this kid friggin' pulled a knife out on it? Like, everybody's like, okay, it's over, let's go play. No! No! Hell no! No! Sorry for the anticlimactic ending, but I felt it probably belonged here. All things considered, I'm pretty sure he was just trying to seem cool with his brand new knife. He lives in Florida now, on a farm where he carries a gun for some reason. I don't know. He's weird. Thanks for bearing with me through the story, in the time I got a knife drawn on me during my first ever D&D session. Edit. I didn't explain the timeline very well, I guess. I was like 10 or 11 when I watched Stranger Things, and 2 years later, when I was in 7th grade, so I would have been like 12 or 13 at the time. I would have been 13 or 12, turning, I don't remember exactly in the year it happened. It's been a couple years since then, and I'm in high school now. If you want to go ahead and do the math in your heads, go for it, but I don't feel right outright stating my age on here. And that is the end of the post. So, here we go to my TED Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, first thing I want to point out is the different background that I'm using. Yes, it is Bloodborne. Actually, despite the fact that I've actually never played Bloodborne on Xbox, I don't own PlayStation. I've watched it played through Let's Plays, and I'm totally into the game itself. And you know, I've played the Souls games. And as I said on my gaming channel, Sway Rome Games, I actually played through playing of Dark Souls 1 with a gold tracer. But the reason for that is, you know, in Bloodborne, you get knives and stuff pulled on you. That's kind of why I pulled the background. That aside, what in the ever-loving fuck? No. Look, okay. You hear me talk about my mindset is, what are you going to do? Fight me? And I'm about to show a couple pictures of why that my mindset is that way. I'm a retired fighter. No, I'm not joking. Y'all, as I said, I'm going to show you pictures. So, I did a story about a guy that was kicked out of a D&D group because he wasn't nerd. He didn't look the part. He didn't look like he was a nerd. Like he was somebody who would play that, you know, worked out, did Muay Thai and stuff. He did it to stay in shape. I did it as, you know, a competitive sport to get paid. But that's where my attitude where that comes from. So when I'm telling you, like, somebody would have pulled a knife on me like that, you better be fast enough to use it, because I'm going to take my shirt off and I'm going to rat tail the ever-loving piss out of you. And as soon as you blink or you move where I can move in close enough to hit you with a haymaker or like wrap my shirt around your neck and start squeezing, yeah, that is such. You don't do something like that. That is like declaring war. That's like pushing the nuclear option button. Like that is not a joke. It's a weapon. And weapons are used to take lives. And this kid just thought it was cool. Granted, I get the time they were kids, but even a 13-year-old kid understands what it is to pull a knife on somebody. I'm not trying to hear that. Like, yeah, I get what OP did, and a part of me is saying, yeah, he did the right thing, but also a part of me is saying, whoop his ass for the audacity of what he did. Let him know from the door. Don't, if you ever even think of doing that to me again, slap yourself and pray that I don't know you thinking about it. But again, like I'm saying, that's just me. Just why did they? And then they went back to playing Dungeons and Dragons. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with all of you? Why didn't they tell me to get the hell up and leave? You just witnessed this dude pull a knife on somebody. What if it would have been you and nobody said anything? You would have had no reason to get pissed. You would have had no right. Like that, like you can hear the energy in my voice because this situation sits so far left with me. You know, that's how not right with me it is. Like, just part of it is because I've had a knife pulled on me. I got a scar from that. I've had a couple knives pulled on me, in fact. It ain't cool. And it ain't cool. And as I said, it's declaring something. You're declaring intent. You're declaring the intent to harm someone when you do something like that. It's one thing if you're doing it in defense, but he just pulled a knife out and was like, yo, what's good? Like, keep doing it. Yeah, I ain't like what you did. OP apologized, and I was like, that should have been the end of it. And what really gets me is they went back to playing. You should have kicked him out. It was more y'all than it was for him. And even then, what was he going to do? Actually stab one of you so one of y'all can go rat him out? Even he knew how bad he messed up because he read the room, put it away, and was like, oh, my bad. All right, you're about to get a couple pictures of me just so you understand why I have the what are you going to do, fight me attitude. And if it ain't been obvious just by the sound of my voice and some of the dialects and linguistics that I use, I'm black. So yeah, I'm the black guy in these. That's why I sit there and like, yeah, what are you going to do, fight me? I have absolutely no problem with violence. So as I said, I'm retired now, but you know, I'm not. I don't mind getting back into it, but that's also why this particular, a few stories in particular, like the guy that was kicked out for not being nerdy enough, or like this one right here, where a kid pulled a knife on somebody else, that they stick with me because the way I am, my mannerisms towards it, my mentality towards it. Like I said, what are you going to do? Fight me? And my violent tendencies would have kicked in. I'm pretty sure I said it in well, at least 2 other stories. Like I feel like you're starting to bullshit me, I get real aggressive. Because again, what are you going to do? Fight me? And you're going to kick me off the table? By that time, I don't want to play with you anyway. But that's where, you know, those tendencies come in. That's why I say that some things that I do when I do these stories. But we reached the end of my TED Talk. So if you're new to the channel and you like the story, you know, think about liking, subscribing, and hanging out, sticking around. If you're not new to the channel and you like the story, you're already sticking around and hanging out. Like and subscribe. I know you're here. It's a small gesture for you guys, but it's, as I keep saying, and I honestly and wholly, fully, and truly mean it, it is a giant one for me. It lets me know that you guys are digging my content. It lets me know that you guys are out there and you're listening and you're waiting for me to drop new stuff. It also lets YouTube know that, and it puts my content out there to other people so that they can dig on what I'm putting out. Oh, a bit of shameless self-promotion. I put it in my last video, but I'm also putting it in this video too. In the description below, as I said, I released my book Battle World. That's heavily it's an isekai, an Elseworld type story. You know, people getting drawn from one dimension into another, and they find out that they have powers. I don't want to give too much away. If you ask me in the comments, I will absolutely answer any questions you have about the book. But I will have the link for the book down below in the description, along with the link for this story. But for the time being, I'll catch you guys later. I'm King Sway, and I will most definitely see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, baby. You know, you're looking forward to that next one. I'll see you guys later.